Hello YouTube, this is Darkon633 back with another Transformers review. Today we're going to take a look at the Transformers Power of the Primes Deluxe class Dreadwing, also known as Dreadwind with the copyright involved. This is actually a very interesting release, as we're actually getting another character that was not present in the original G1 cartoon series, although this particular figure was released in the US as Dreadwing. If I remember correctly, this particular character was named Hydra in the Japanese version, so it's definitely very different in terms of color scheme, since Hydra had a more reddish color scheme on the wings and a few other locations, but the overall design was pretty much exactly the same. Anyways, we're going to take a look at the box first. Now the card is pretty similar to what we've seen with the other releases, although it's got a lot more stylized artwork, as you can see up here, and it looks really nice overall in my opinion. The back, it has a little bio as normal, and a little bit of the play features, such as Micronus, Vector Prime, and Leech Maximo, as some examples of what you can get for the Prime-Masters. So now we're going to take a look at the figure itself. Before anything else, here's a look at the character card, which is definitely different than what we've seen. So since on the back, for what I could tell, this is going to be different on almost every release of the figure. So if you decide to get Dreadwind here or somewhere else, this card may be different to you, and the same for every other particular line. So there's a bunch of combinations you can get with these. So I guess this is very interesting, although it's going to be a little bit annoying for those who are kind of die-hard collectors and want to collect every card. On the back, it shows that it's Amalgamous Dreadwing, pretty much explaining that the Amalgamous Prime-Master would be attached to him. But other than that, you're not going to get a whole lot of the cards themselves. Now we're going to take a look at the figure more closely. In terms of the figure itself, it's about the same for some of the other Aerobot molds. Since it's been a while since I looked at them, I don't remember exactly which mold this particular figure is based on. If I remember correctly, I think it's either Firebolt or one of the others, but I know for sure it's one of the Superion combiner limbs. First, we're actually going to remove this little component here so that we can have a closer look at the figure itself. And it's got a pretty okay reminiscent look of the original character. In the Japanese version and the American version, the original design was that the nose cone actually bent over to the chest, but obviously that's definitely different this time around. Articulation-wise, the head is on a standard ball joint, although you're not going to get a whole lot. Apologize, this is actually a swivel. Next, we're going to have swivel shoulders, although it does bend in a separate location due to transformation, so be wary with that. It does have outward movement in the shoulders, swivels as well. Single joints at the elbows, although I think the mold may have degraded a little bit over time, since at times when I actually move this around, this arm and this arm like to pop off from time to time. He does have a waist joint, which is mainly to transformation. Ball joints of the hips, swivels of the thighs, a little bit less than 90 degrees at the knees, and that's about it. If you count the wings as articulation, I guess we have a point there. But other than that, that's pretty much what you're going to get. We're actually going to look at the actual piece that it comes with, and this actually forms as a limb. Interesting enough, this line has combined the various releases we've gotten over the years, so it includes combiners, Prime Masters, Titan Masters, or whatever. So we got a lot of stuff going on. Just as a little limb, you can use this obviously as the standard limb for the combiner mode, which can work on either side depending on what thumb you are using. But, as you can see, it does connect to the body via this little peg that forms there. And then you peg it in there. And then, as the instructions shows, you don't need to do this, but it makes it a little more streamlined. You do place them in there. Right here is actually where a Prime Master will actually fit. And since I do not have a Prime Master just yet, you can still use the Titan Masters as a way to actually attach it inside. It's a little bit hard to get into since it is placed in pretty snugly, but just as an example, since it is a Decepticon, we're just going to take Crash Bash here quickly and open it up and just quickly place it in just to have some kind of indication of what it looks like. The Prime Masters will definitely look a lot better since they look more like cores while these are heads, so when you actually plug this in, it's going to make it look like it's got a head protruding out of the body. But once you do, you pretty much get the idea of what they're trying to do here. You can place this backwards if you wish to, so it makes it a little bit better, but it's not going to fit as well due to the actual headpiece. But you pretty much get the idea of what that particular piece is for. In terms of transformation, there's a few differences between this mold from what I could tell than the previous releases, but overall it's about the same which we've seen with the Aerobot molds. Anyways, we'll now go into the transformation and look at his vehicle mode. Dreadwing in his vehicle mode. Now this is actually pretty interesting since you actually can place the model import and place it up here. It really can go either way, but I like to do it in this direction because in the original G1 design you actually had a Powermaster port or a Godmaster port that you could attach up there. So just like in robot mode, we're just going to quickly bring Crash Bash again as an example, and you can place in a Targetmaster like this as well. Obviously it does work better with the Prime Master, but since I don't have any, I can't really do that yet. But it's nice that you actually have the option. Because of this, we pretty much get almost a pretty much spot-on update to the character. And when comparing this with the G1 releases online, since I do not have the original release, this is actually pretty reminiscent of the original design. It's almost spot-on completely in the overall jet mode design, and I find that rather impressive. It doesn't have any wheels or anything, since it does maintain the Aerobot molds, which didn't have anything. You can slide it across the table without any wheels, it doesn't work. It does include this gun, which you can place in various areas, but we're just going to plug it here just as an example. And you pretty much get the idea what you're getting at with this figure. Other than that, it's still really nice looking, even in jet mode. As I go into my final thoughts, I decided to bring a bunch of the other Japanese exclusive characters to compare with here on display as well. Obviously, a lot of these are the Hasbro releases, including the release of God Ginrai, but it's still really nice to see that Hasbro is actually going ahead and releasing a bunch of the characters that Takara actually is not even updated to this point. They are updating with the Overlord, and they are updated obviously with the God Ginrai with their mold, but some characters like Metal Hawk and Leo Kaiser himself did not make it to Japan, which I find very interesting that it didn't happen. Regardless, I think this is really nice that we got another Japanese exclusive character, even if the toy is based on the original Hasbro colors and design, but it's still nice to see it released regardless. I got this at Hasbro Toy Shop, and it's definitely going to be a little bit of a hard time getting these figures since it's a brand new line, and that's pretty much expected to the first wave of the current Transformer releases, but in the next couple months they should be quite easily available, and your best bet is to probably wait it out, or just check online such as Amazon, Hasbro Toy Shop as I mentioned, or even BBTS. Anyways, please comment, rate, and subscribe, and check out Hero Club and Hero Taku. Also check me on Twitter, Darkon633, and don't forget to check me on Instagram under Darkon633 as well. Please check the other channels down below, and also check the bell at the bottom of the screen in order to see my content go up as soon as possible. And I'm back with more Transformers reviews, but for now, I'll be seeing you later, YouTube. Bye.